Yesterday I posted a video talking about the dancing OK Boomer girl on Twitter, you know, the one doing the shit on Twitter that started the giant simp war. At the end of the video, talked about how she revealed she had a boyfriend, and that was the end of that. The ceasefire was called and everyone was all good. I couldn't have been more wrong. In fact, this was simply a ruse. The Twitter simp war never stopped. In fact, that was just a fake olive branch leading to a simp ambush. And as embarrassed as I am to say this, I'm just so fucking ashamed of this. I contributed to the Twitter simp war. I fanned the flames of it. But I'll get to that shit in a minute, and it actually makes me sick. I want to talk about what happened with the girl, Nico. At the time of when I posted the video, made it and all that, there was no real aftermath. There wasn't any, like, carnage. There wasn't fucking burned down cities or anything, or, you know, churches turned to ruin. People just moved on. They realized she had a boyfriend, they washed their hands of it, stopped foaming at the mouth like a rabid dog and coming in their diapers. They got over it. However, later that night, a big portion of those once true white knights went out of their way to get her Twitter account suspended. But not even that was enough for them. They didn't have their pound of flesh. They went after her TikTok as well, trying to get that suspended. That one never went down, but her Twitter was suspended for about an hour or so. She got it back. So in response, they copyright struck the dance video, the OK Boomer dance video, which, from what I can see, is still copyright claimed. And not by the person who made the song. They have come out publicly saying they didn't issue that. It was that group of people that are upset to find out that they never stood a chance of taking her to prom or anything. So after that, they really dug deep into their asshole to pull out their ultimate weapon, their final Manhattan project, the unfollow button. They mass unfollowed her account and she lost roughly 130,000 followers over the course of 24 hours. That is a fucking speed run right there. That's a speed run world record any percent shit. Fucking O.J. Simpson could go on Twitter right now and post a video admitting to the murders, and he would not lose that many followers in a day. That shit was on another level, what happened with Nico here. I've never seen something like that. All because she just told the world she had a boyfriend. She didn't feel she needed to hide it. I feel super bad for Nico here because she rose to stardom overnight just doing something she enjoyed doing, something wholesome, dancing. And then all of a sudden people get mad at her for having a life outside of their fantasy internet girl thing. It's just some sad shit. All around, just some super pathetic shit, honestly, from the Twitter simp wars. Now, what I talked about earlier, where I unfortunately contributed to it, actually makes me fucking sick. So what do I mean by that? I made that video yesterday talking about all of this Twitter simp wars because it was an entertaining topic. I didn't make it to try and lead some type of, Holy Crusade against the simps or anything like that. It was just to make jokes about it, as I always do with situations like this. Not some type of serious revolution I'm trying to start or some kind of movement. It's just to make some fucking jokes about it. But unfortunately, a lot of euphoric, enlightened atheist Redditors watched that video and went on this holy crusade to eliminate the simps and, violently harass them, dox them, just some crazy shit. Because for the first time in a long time, I didn't censor the names of someone I showed on Twitter. So when I showed that thread about, the nudes troll thing, people went out of their way to attack those people and anyone they felt was an actual simp. Full disclosure, that thread of the nudes troll thing, those were all people making jokes. At the time, I didn't know that because on Twitter, it's hard to fucking tell. There are people that pathetic. There's people that make out with their dogs on Twitter. It's hard to tell what's a joke and what's not. So this led to this crazy witch hunt on Twitter between who's a real simp, who's an ironic simp, and then who's this Redditor that's coming in here with this fucking justice boner doing nothing but making things worse. Which means I added an Act 2 to this Twitter simp war completely unintentionally. I've learned my lesson now. I can't trust people to behave themselves if I show someone's name. I don't know why people can't just sit back and laugh about an entertaining situation like the Twitter simp wars here. I don't know why they have to go out of their way to try and prove something to themselves or God that they're fighting for the, what's right by attacking these dudes on Twitter making jokes about it or some shit. I don't understand why someone is so compelled to go out of their way to fight for hours, and it's not a small number. This is over 1,000 people at least did this, fight for hours with these people joking about being simps, or they may have fought with real simps. It's literally impossible to tell. It's like that Spider-Man picture where he's pointing at himself and accusing each other. It's baffling to me how a large group of people could sit there and watch the video yesterday, realize it's all for jokes, but then take it as a call to arms to go on Twitter and fight for hours. Why? People go out of their way to, play in the fucking pig pen, the little swamp, and just fight battles on Twitter for no fucking reason. And then I feel responsible for it because now I've contributed to something like that, completely unintentionally. I've learned my lesson. I'm definitely going to keep blocking out people's names because I can't trust how someone's going to respond to it. It's silly. When I make a video like the one yesterday talking about some shit like that, it's just to make jokes about it. I'm not trying to rile up the community to take up arms, Cheetos in hand and Mountain Dew in the other and go charge the front lines of Twitter. I'm just making fucking jokes about it. It's just there to have a little fun. And yet some people take it to this extreme and make it something entirely negative, and it's upsetting. That's really about it. Hopefully that's the end of the great Twitter simp war of 2020. Hopefully that puts a nice little bow on it. And yeah, that's about it. See ya.